Greetings, esteemed colleagues and friends. My name is Father Charles B. Chilufya, a Jesuit priest working for the Jesuit Conference of Africa and Madagascar as head of the Justice and Ecology Office. I am here to announce an important upcoming event on behalf of the Bakhita Partnership for Education, a partnership that was formed between the Jesuits of Africa and Catholic religious congregations in the field of education and social justice. This was formed in the wake of COVID-19 and its impacts on girls to respond to the injustice of violence against girls and lack of education opportunities for girls. In just 2 days, on the 13th of March, we will be participating in a joint event driven by the African Union, the UN Special Representative of the UN Secretary General on Violence Against Children, and the Africa Early Childhood Network titled Equality and Inclusive Education for Girls Empowerment, a strategic tool for ending harmful practices. This event, organized on the margins of the 68th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, will take place from 10:30 to 12:30 at the AU Permanent Mission in New York. The Bakhita Partnership for Education, driven by the Society of Jesus, is committed to addressing these challenges. We align with the second universal apostolic preference of the Jesuits, which calls us to walk with the poor, the outcasts of the world, those whose dignity has been violated, in a mission of reconciliation and justice. Girls suffering all forms of exclusion and violence are among those covered by this preference of the Jesuits. This preference emphasizes the Jesuits' commitment to accompany and serve those who are marginalized and vulnerable in society, working toward a more just and equitable world. We, the Jesuits of Africa, and our partners in the BPE are doing so by championing girls' education as a transformative force. Through our work in Africa, particularly in Eastern and Southern Africa, we have saved over 3,000 girls from harm and violence and brought them back into school, and indirectly, we have reached over 30,000 girls through our partners in the sister-led Catholic schools and surrounding communities. The Bakhita Partnership also promotes safe schools, the creation of safe schools, and advocates for public policies that promote transformative education. The need for this upcoming discussion in New York this week is underscored by alarming statistics. An estimated 244 million children and young people between the ages of 6 and 18 worldwide are out of school, with 129 of those being girls. In sub-Saharan Africa alone, approximately 50 million children of primary and secondary school age are girls who face unique and multiple barriers to education. Although there is some progress made by African states in girls' education, girls still face unique and multiple barriers to education, mostly caused by economic inequalities, poverty, harmful cultural practices, and practices such as marriages, poor infrastructure, violence, food insecurity, armed conflicts, displacements, and the climate and humanitarian crises. These challenges disrupt education trajectories, robbing girls of their right to learn. Addressing gender discriminatory norms, as well as children and women's poverty and vulnerabilities, including in times of crisis, is therefore crucial. Violence in public and private spaces specifically prevent girls from accessing and completing education, with the most recent data estimating that approximately 60 million girls are sexually assaulted on their way to or at school every year. This consequently leads to lower attendance, higher dropout rates, unintended pregnancies, risks of HIV and STD transmission, and psychological and physical trauma. Child marriage is also another critical challenge, impeding girls from accessing education and completing learning. Putting an end to this practice would have a positive impact on girls' and women's learning, skills development, access to social, political, and economic opportunities, and overall quality of life. It is key to note that non-access to education has a huge socio-economic cost to the country. A recent World Bank study estimates that the limited education opportunities for girls and barriers to completing 12 years of education cost countries between 15 trillion and 30 trillion US dollars in lost lifetime productivity and earnings. Following the recommendations of the Africa event on transforming education held on the margins of the UN Summit in 2023 in New York, focused on the global transforming education effort, the Africa Union adopted 2024 as the year of education under the theme Educate an Africa Fit for the 21st Century, building on resilient, inclusive, lifelong, quality and relevant learning in Africa. This therefore presents a unique opportunity for all stakeholders on gender equality in education to advocate for advancement of girls' and women's education in Africa. Therefore, our participation in this side event is an opportunity to share our experiences, learn from others, and strengthen partnerships. We believe that education is crucial for empowering individuals and achieving sustainable development. It is only through collaboration that we can create a brighter, more equitable future for all girls. I invite you to join us in this important discussion, contribute to the emancipation of girls, especially here in Africa. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of girls and women, not just in Africa, but around the world. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing many of you at the event. Thank you very much, and God bless.